When you're thinking about your legendary decks, there's a lot to consider. I sat down today with Josh Stetter from Trex, and we talked about heat mitigation, colors, and his railing systems. Stick around for our conversation to learn more. I'm Andy Reich with Lezzer Lumber, and I'm joined here today by Josh Stetter with US Lumber. And US Lumber is one of our biggest suppliers of Trex decking. We're going to talk about Trex decking today. Thanks for giving us some time this morning, Josh.
Absolutely.
We've had a great relationship with US Lumber and with Trex. You guys have been a big part of our outdoor living push that we've had for the last couple of years, and you guys have been a great partner for our customers, and I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
I appreciate you saying that. Just to touch on Trex a little bit, and then what I do for US Lumber, I'm the market development specialist. I've been doing that for about a year now, but before that, I was an outside sales guy with them since 2017. So I have a little bit of history in it.
Yeah, so you know decking, and you know your ins and outs and the features and benefits.
Between me and my dad, we know everything.
You know everything, right? So, all right. Well, you brought some products here, and looks like some new colors laying out here before us. Tell us a little bit about what's changed with Trex in the last year or so.
Yeah, I mean, overall, they've put a big focus into what the homeowner is asking for now. You know, for a long time, they had their flagship brand, which is Transcend. They added a couple colors with the new line lineage to that, but they were really hitting that higher end market. And this year, they've actually moved to more of a focus of the the new homeowner or the DIYer. So with that, they wanted to make it easier to install and a little bit more affordable. Obviously, they have the Trex Enhanced line, which is really affordable, but this Select 2.0 really hits that middle of the market, which have been missing for the past couple of years.
Right, and I think that middle of the road is where we're really successful with our customers. A lot of our contractors and builders seem to find that a product that they can sell and do well with the deck builds that they're doing. These are some new colors that you guys have brought out this year?
Yeah, the colors you see listed here are Whiskey Barrel, Millstone, and Malted Barley. In years past, you know, Trex has really taken inspiration from things like volcanoes, beaches, other things like that whenever the marketing department is coming up with the names for their deck boards. Yeah. And obviously you can see here what they might have been doing whenever they came up with the names for these three. But yeah, they're obviously a good lineup to pull out in the middle of the decking lineup as far as price goes, and the colors complement each other well.
Yeah, they really do. The variation in them, they look like really appealing to the eye. I think they'll be good colors for our customers. It's all about color sometimes when we get customers into our showrooms. We built some beautiful displays with our decks, with our push on outdoor living. We really want to show what the decking looks like on those deck displays. So when the customers come into our showrooms and see that, they're just drawn to certain colors. And what are some things that you think draw people to these colors here and make these colors popular?
Well, you know, before, a lot of the colors were really bold. Like you would have really dark reds, the blues would be a little bit on the darker side, and then whenever they would go light, they would go way on the other side of the spectrum. These kind of hit that middle of the market palette range, and I think homeowners are really going more towards that look when it comes to outdoor living.
You were telling me a little bit about the makeup of these boards, that we can now use these right on docks. They can be submerged in water. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Select 2.0 line is now fully submergible. So they've added, you know, some benefits to the cap composite and to the makeup of the product that allow them to use that for docks and submerge it. And then on top of that, they've coined the phrase sun comfortable, because heat mitigation is a big thing, not only to homeowners, but to contractors. And, you know, sun comfortable just sounded right to them, I guess. It makes sense to me. Yep. And when you're on a dock or whenever you're on your deck, you don't want to walk out and just immediately burn your feet. So it's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of not only our kids and our young people running around with bare feet all the time, but our pets as well, right? And then you think about our dogs and cats running around on our decks. We don't want them to burn their feet either. So yeah, that's great technology. It seems to be something that's really catching on in the deck world. Everybody's talking about cool technology and how to keep those decks more comfortable for people to walk on.
And I am happy that Trex came out with that sun comfortable, and they're not just blanketing it with a heat mitigation name. You know, they've kind of coined it and not really made it their own, but made it their own.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, I really appreciate you bringing these in and showing them to us today. I appreciate your time. Anything else you want to add before we say goodbye for today?
No, I just wanted to say that you guys are great partners of ours. Like you said before, I want to agree with that. And if I were a homeowner, you know, and I wanted to build my dream deck, I would absolutely stop into a local Lezzer location.
We're building legendary decks at Lezzer's, that's for sure. Appreciate you being a partner with us on that.
Beautiful.